me on the Terror Machine. This is your monthly love reading for July 2017. This will be for the sign of Libra. So let me go ahead and give these cards a shuffle to see what overall energy you be working with for the month, or been working with for the month. Preservice. Okay. For singles, what it's saying is to me, don't come to the table and give all your business out. Just don't go blah and tell everybody. You have to retain certain stuff about yourself to make it intriguing for somebody to try to figure out. Um, what they're getting into. So sometimes you have to kind of not tell everything, because when you tell everything, that's when somebody know your weaknesses and everything, and it becomes a weapon. Even though you want to state certain stuff to a person, it's reserve some of that stuff that you would tell for yourself and let that person figure it out for themselves. Don't just give it all to them once you meet them because you like them, and after a while, you if you do get in a relationship with them, they start using what you told kind of against you, and it starts making the relationship super difficult to deal with, because they know every angle that you will come with, kind of. So it's saying kind of reserve some of that and just don't blab it all out to somebody you meet on from the gig gate. Just don't blab it. Keep certain things to yourself to make yourself, mysterious, or make yourself make it gives the other person some kind of, oh, I want to find out more about that person, instead of just blabbing everything out and it's like, oh, it was all that, okay, never mind. So if you already coupled up, what it's saying is do certain things to keep the your bond with your one-on-one intact, and kind of do take the initiative to do little things to keep the relationship going. Sometimes preserve means something different in a relationship via versus singles mean don't blab everything. In a couple thing, it's saying do certain stuff to keep the relationship going, or keeping it at a steady pace that both of y'all is getting um satisfied in the relationship. And sometimes you have to reserve something back, or kind of preserve some kind of thing that you don't want to hurt your companion, but that's up to that person's discretion to either put it out or don't put it out. But if you've been in a relationship for a long time, your companion usually can figure it out already. So it's no need to be trying to reserve yourself or try to keep certain things from each other, because you've been together, they can sense something. So it's just saying do certain things to keep the relationship going and keep it on a steady level. So let me go ahead and get you some cards to see what can help you out for the month. I want to shuffle it again. I don't know why. I'm having a feeling it says just keep shuffling. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah. Ooh. That's what's up. Ooh. Ooh. That. Okay. Okay. In the middle of the reading, what you have is the Chariot upright. So for singles, it's saying that you know what direction you, or you know what you want in a relationship, or you could be meeting somebody that knows what they want in a relationship, and that's their course on getting in a relationship or what they want in a relationship. They're trying to manifest their thought of what they have vision for being in a one-on-one relationship. Either you're doing this to somebody you're meeting or somebody's doing this to you, that they see you as a good potential, but they want to either maintain more control in the relationship, or they're going to set certain things up that it will actually move them, or it moves you in that direction of what they want in a one-on-one companion. So that's what they basically doing. They may be setting up or talking a certain way or doing certain things that you kind of naturally fall in line. Kind of, it's a subconscious thing that when you get in a relationship, either subconsciously you're trying to set up stuff for that person to fall in line so you can see if it's a benefit or a not benefit, or you're setting it up just to see how witty or how they use their mind state to figure certain things out in a relationship. It's kind of weird, but we all subconsciously do that to get in a relationship. We set up certain things, we say certain things just to see if that person is going to fall with that. And if they land on that button or that landmine, it becomes another thing that triggers people off to say, okay, I can work with that. No, I can't work with it. We all do it. We do it in business. We do it in love, that we talk a certain way to set up certain verbal bombs so they can land on, people can land on them, so we can make a judgment call from that point on. And it's a way to control a situation that we control it to a certain point that we want it to go that way. So we verbally say certain things or do certain things to make it go in that course. And that's maybe what this person is doing. Either you're doing this to somebody or somebody doing this to you, that they see you as a good potential, but they want to maintain what their idea of what a companion is, or to be in a one-on-one relationship. So they're setting up different stuff to see if you're falling in line of what they want you to be in a companion in a one-on-one relationship. If you already coupled up, it's just saying that both of you, because it's always two on any chariot card, that both of y'all is on the same page to move in one uniform direction when it comes to bringing something positive into a relationship. Both of y'all know what needs to be done, and both of y'all is ready to take that chance and move forward like that to bring in something positive in a relationship. Either you're thinking this or your companion's thinking this, that you're both on the same page, and now both of you can move in the same direction to build something positive in a relationship. What you have underneath you is the Ten of Wands in the upright. So if you're single, you could be meeting somebody that's like this, or you are currently like this, that any relationship you get into, you have a mindset that is a heavy burden, or something characteristic of that person comes out and bleeds into your mind state of how you feel, that that person has a lot on a plate and you have to carry it, or they feel that about you, that you go into a relationship and they figure they have to make up the slack or the burden that you cannot clear out of your own when it comes to working on a one-on-one relationship. Or at this time, you could be carrying other burdens from outside factors that could be messing with your ability to get in a one-on-one relationship. And that could be happening now too, that you have so much on your plate when it comes to other things, that a relationship at this time could just be the straw that breaks a camel's back, because that you need to focus your energy on something else via versus zooming in on one thing and trying to craft it, the way you want it. So that I'm hearing that too. So either somebody think that about you, or you're talking to somebody and they presenting that kind of funny emotion when you're talking to them or trying to get them to be in a one-on-one relationship with them. If um you're already coupled up, what it's saying is whatever course you invented to go in to craft a relationship better, or put it on a better level, it's going to take it's going to kind of take a lot of work, and at times you're going to feel like this is a burden, because you're not going to see the result until everything is cleared out. And that's what it's kind of saying, is saying that y'all both is focused to do it, but at times you're going to feel like it's not really worth the effort, because you're not seeing the benefit from it. Either your companion is doing this, or you're doing this to your companion, that you was willing to work on certain things to build a relationship, or add certain things into the relationship to make sure it was steady, but at the same time it was more of, when is it going to be over, or when I'm going to see the payoff from it. So, and usually tens means that it's at the end of it. So basically, at the end of the whole process, you will begin to see the benefit from it, or you're at the last state of trying to finish the last little knickknacks that you want to bring into the relationship to make it better. Then you will get ready and see something new come around the corner. What you have in the past is the nine of cups and the upright. So the nine of cups, if you're single, is what it's saying is either you displayed this attitude, or somebody did this to you. Usually the nine of cups is a wish card, and I'm not feeling wish in this. I'm feeling more of emotional contentment, that they was contented, you were content at the state you was in the past, even if you was in a relationship or not in a relationship, but you was content of where you was in the past when it came to dealing with you being in a one-on-one relationship or pursuing. You was content within yourself, that you didn't really need to go to any outside source to kind of feed your ego, kind of, or kind of gave you that emotional crutch to need you to move on to do what you need to do in your normal everyday life. Like you needed a companion just to move forward. So, and I'm getting that either you came across a person that displayed that attitude to you, or you displayed that, like, you was emotionally content, and it may send a little confusion to somebody, because if they can't find an emotional way to get in, they kind of got discouraged of it. And I'm hearing that too. And you could have displayed that attitude, that you was emotionally content at the state that you was at that time. If you are a coupled up, it says that your relationship is in the past or going into the future or whatever, has always been a state of contentment when it came to you dealing with your companion on a one-on-one or building something. You was always satisfied of how the relationship was always set, and that's a good thing. So no matter what new course you went on, you knew that the foundation emotionally was always in well intact. And that's what I'm hearing. No matter if it goes off the Richter or is a burden, you know that your relationship is emotionally set up solid, that you can venture out and bring new stuff into the relationship to make it better. So it was one of those things that you felt that, or your companion felt that you're willing to bring something in. It's the time to bring it in. you both are emotionally strong enough and both thinking the same thing, so might as well go and do it. And that's what either this mindset came about or this kind of action came apart. Either you did this to your companion or your companion did this to you, that they was introducing this new thing because they felt your relationship was emotionally solid. So what you have above you is the Six of Wands in reverse. So if you're single, you could meet a person, or somebody could be coming at you that they're not very a complimentative person. That's why I'm hearing they kind of get in a relationship and they don't kind of praise the person that they in. They have a they usually the Six of Wands is getting recognized, or they getting a praise from their job, or they getting a victory out of it after a long period of strife against it. But what this is saying in the reverse, if you're single, you can be displaying this to somebody, or somebody displaying this to you, that they're they're not a complimentary person. Their emotions don't run that way, and they're a person that kind of takes stuff as it is, not to even get a benefit out of it, or they kind of not trying to compliment somebody to kind of rope them into their emotions, or trying to rope them in another way. Kind of, they're just not that type of person. Or maybe you're not that type of person, that you don't pay the people you with any kind of compliments. That's the only thing I can get, or any kind of praise, or you kind of overlook the person that you get in a relationship with. You get them, then you kind of forget them. It's one of those, I get them, I got them, I forgot them, you kind of thing. And that's why I'm picking up that. And I'm not picking Libra doing this. I'm picking up somebody doing this to Libra, that they rushing to get in a relationship with you. Then once they have you, they're going to forget you, or they kind of get absent-minded. Like they supposed to call, they don't call, or they call a couple days later, or I ain't saying cuckoo bird, but I'm kind of getting cuckoo bird. Or they just their mind is zooming on a bunch of stuff, and that they can't keep nothing in line, and they're just that type of person. And it's a weird message to get it with the wands, but it's like their stuff, they're all not really all over the board. They're focusing on way too many things, kind of. And when they do that, they start dropping stuff out the fold and then try to play catch up later. And I don't know why I'm getting that weird feeling, but and I'm not getting it on Libra's stance. I'm getting it on somebody talking that Libra is talking to. That they're kind of intrigued by that person. They turned on that person. And they willing to get in a one-on-one relationship. But it seems like once they got you, they're gonna forget you, kind of thing. I'm just putting it out there because I got that a as a sense of it. If you already coupled up the Six of Wands, saying that whatever thing it is that you're trying to bring into your relationship to make it better, it's just saying that you're not going to see no physical results or any kind of tangible results of what you bringing in right about now to help build a relationship. It's saying it's going to take more time, especially with the Ten of Wands underneath it, that is, you feel like it's a burden. So maybe it's a more of a fog over you, or what you're bringing in. Either your companion thinking this, or you're thinking this, that you bringing in all this new stuff, y'all on the same page, and 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 you running in that course. But where's the payoff? More is this really being a beneficial thing to our relationship? And what it's saying is, it to me more is a delay of time, or is not going to be recognized at the time you want it to be recognized. It's going to take a little more effort and a little more time for it to show a positive result when it comes to your union or your one-on-one. Either your companion's thinking this or you're thinking this, or and it's not really a thought. It's just saying that it's going to take more time of whatever you're working on to have a physical recognition when it comes to bringing something beneficial to your relationship. What you have, um, last card is the moon upright. The moon upright is, if you're single, it's saying that you could meet somebody that's not giving you the whole story about how they were in a past relationship, or they're not letting you know certain things about them. And definitely with this preservers card, maybe you're definitely not bringing nothing. Maybe you're keeping a big secret from somebody. You're trying to get in a one-on-one relationship, but you trying to preserve a certain type of information that you carry about yourself. Maybe you leave your shoes on the floor too often. I don't know. But that you feel be a negative to the relationship, or put a different type of outlook on the relationship. So you kind of reserving that information. You're not bringing it up when you're talking to somebody. So it's one of those things that for you to figure out, you have to get into it, kind of thing. So it's one of those things. Either somebody's doing this to you, or you're doing this to somebody else, that you're not exposing everything. And like I said, sometimes you don't need to expose everything, but usually the moon, they say, is big secrets. I don't It's not a such thing as a big secret unless it's catastrophic. I mean, it had to be like shoes blow off with socks kind of thing. But I don't think most people, and I'm trying to be real nice, carry that kind of weight with them, because it becomes mental torture kind of after a while, because eventually it's going to come out, or you got a friend's going to spill it, or or you walking around paranoid because somebody knows something and somebody going to drop the dime. So I don't think it's that. I'm thinking that you're not exposing something that could be a detrimental thing, and that's based on point of view. That's not based on a actual experience. Is based on somebody else's point of view on how they interpret it or digest it. So that one is kind of a hit and miss of how you want to do that. But it's saying that somebody's coming with you and not giving you all the information about themselves, or you're doing this with somebody that you're not giving the information to all themselves, even though I said you need to reserve certain information. But like I said, each person is their own judgment of what is serious and non-serious. So let's just keep that real. If you're um coupled up with somebody, what it's saying is that both on this course to build this positive thing in your relationship, and it comes to find out is it has some hidden trap doors. It took more than you thought it would take, basically, to adopt this thing that you felt it would be beneficial in a relationship. When it was brought up and you decided to do it with your companion, either they didn't drop all the information on the table to make you have a sound decision, or you jumped on course and then you found out later that, oh, this has some hidden trap doors in it and I didn't figure it had this, and why did you didn't bring it up, kind of thing. So it's not that bad. It's just with couples, it's just saying that once it come up, you just gonna have to run with the course of it. And that's what's kind of really saying. Maybe because it all of a sudden comes up and that you're trying to build this positive thing in your relationship, that eventually you feel like it's a super burden and you ain't winning, because this unknown thing that you didn't expect came up when you was trying to craft something or go and take your relationship in a certain direction, and it was like, you didn't expect it, kind of. So and it threw you, it basically threw a monkey wrench on your plans, basically. And either your companion's thinking this or you're thinking this about your companion, and whatever this idea you both decided to work on. So let me go ahead and get a clarifier for you ain't got one card upside down, So let me go ahead. And I'm hearing in my head people saying, "What's that 10 of wands? What's the 10 of wands? What's the 10 of wands?" I keep hearing it, so I guess I'm gonna do an upright clarifier and see what the 10 of wands is. What you feel was a burden. Oh, something fell out. I'm gonna try it. Let me shuffle it one more time. I keep hearing do the 10 of wands, but usually I don't do upright cards because they kind of raw in themselves. But oh, some okay, the 2 of wands in the upright. So for singles, what it's saying is that the burden was coming about, that you felt it was a burden because you had either a couple of ways to go about it and you wasn't really looking at it, or you had a couple options, then fighting with or getting the potential person that you wanted to be. And what it is I think it's more because this car got five birds flying in the corner of it. So what I'm saying is maybe the burden that was being created, that you felt was a burden because you did not let it go. Birds fly freely. You took a rein and tried to control everything when really you was controlling way too much stuff, and you should have homed it down to a couple things at a time and then let everything else just free fall where it was going to be, without bringing some strife in when it came to getting into a one-on-one relationship with somebody. Either somebody needed to do that with you, would clear out most of the stuff on the plate, let everything else fall from the side, and just focus on you and getting in a one-on-one, or you're doing this with somebody else. If you already is um coupled up, what it said is if you felt like whatever they was bringing in was going to be a burden when it came to setting it up to make your relationship better, you should have did it. You should only homed it down to a couple things. That's what it is. You should have just homed it down to a couple things that you knew as a couple that you could have crafted a little bit better or a little bit tighter, instead of having all a bunch of things or having this feeling that it was a burden. And it's also saying, since you felt like whatever this new thing is a burden, it's kind of telling me in this sense to kind of shrink your thoughts down and only focus on the thing at hand that is really going to be beneficial when it came to crafting something positive in your relationship, or your feelings that you're taking like this is a burden, this is too much. Maybe you have to break whatever plan that you have with your companion to help build something. Maybe you have to break it down to the 1 2 or the nut in the bolt to it, so you won't have to be feeling you're you're carrying a whole mess of burden on trying to interact this stuff. It's trying to say keep it simple, basically. With the 2 of wands, usually 2 of wands is you have two paths, but usually two paths are simple. Either you're going one or the other. So it's telling me that instead of you thinking about this as a super burden, kind of break it down to the nuts and bolts and break it down to the A and B. I'm getting this for that, kind of see where it, just keep it on a balanced scale when you're looking at it, basically. Let me get another card. Yeah, you feel trapped. There you go. For singles, this heavy burden and trying to make a decision got you tripped up. You tripped up with the decision to get in this one-on-one relationship with this person, and you're caught with all the normal stuff you have to do and how to put this person in a one-on-one relationship. So it's having you feeling confused, or you trapping yourself in a decision making way over something that's really simple. It's really 1-2, and you're putting too much stank on it. Basically, you're putting too much stank on getting with this one-on-one person, or somebody is doing this to you, that they're putting way too much stank on it, and they feel like they're closing in, or they trapped, or it's a burden trying to even do that, but they're not breaking it down to either yes or no, and they're kind of self doing this, and you probably see them doing that, and it's kind of weird, but they're trapping themselves on something that's very simple to do, basically, or it's a simple decision to make. If it came to being in a one-on-one relationship with somebody, it's not really, you don't have to break out the super manual on it. That's when you get in a relationship, you have to break out the super manual, but you're trying to just set something up to get further with this one person. They putting too much stank on it. They putting way too much stank on it, and they just need to keep it A and B and stop trapping themselves on this decision. Or you're doing this, you need to keep it 1-2. Just keep it 1-2 and stop putting hella boo boo stank on it, and just keep it moving. Make your decision. Once you make your decision, just be confident that you made your decision, and stop trapping yourself acting like it's supposed to be 100 million options that you're supposed to be picking, and you have to think about 100 million options when this person may be coming at you and making it baby simple, and you're thinking about other things but the baby simple that's in front of you. Either you're gonna be in a relationship with that person, or you're not, or you're gonna give that person a chance or not, or is this the right time or not. I can go on all day with it, but that's how simple it is, when it comes to and knowing what you want and don't want. I want that, yes. I don't want that, no. I mean, keep it simple, and it keeps your decision, and you will stop trapping yourself. Either somebody is thinking of doing this to you, or you doing this to them, that they need to get their stuff together and get on some kind of course on their own decision and what they want in a relationship, or you need to do it. If you already coupled up, yeah, it seems like whatever you're putting in effect to help the relationship is causing some kind of confusion, because even though y'all on the same page, this mishap of it's taking extra time, or something came up that I didn't expect when it came to building this, help building this bond with my companion or whatever. Something came up, it could be an external thing, but it added another kind of layer to your decision process, and it's kind of throwing your decision process off when it comes to working on something in a one-on-one relationship, because maybe it's this unknown thing, and then now this unknown thing is just adding fuel to the fire on something that you don't want to take now, or you didn't want to focus on it because you was on this course to help build something better in your relationship. Either your companion's thinking this, or you're thinking this, that they trapped because, and I have a funny feeling there, you're trapped because of this. Something flew out the box, kind of. Something flew out the box, and you didn't expect it, and it was a monkey wrench. Now you have to focus on it, and it may be at a weird angle that it came at, that it's that you trying to figure out what's going on, but it's taking your mental power, and it's taking your mental power of focusing on something that could be beneficial, but it's like you're trapped and really don't want to move towards it, or you stalling the process, kind of, because the Eight of Swords is usually one of those things that you're trapped. So either you was moving on a course that could have been positive, and all of a sudden it became to a certain stop because of something that became known after a while, and then the process stopped, and it was like, oh no, and it either is yourself doing, or your companion did this, or stop the process because something came up of building your relationship. It's not that bad depending on what popped up out of the woodwork. So let's just see why the Six of Wands is here in reverse. Page of Wands. Thank you. Page of Wands. For singles, whoever this uncomplimented person is, they're too new in a relationship. That's what it is, basically. Either you're too young for this person you're going after, or the person is too young for you. That they're all over the board. They racing all over the board, and they just don't know the construct of being in a relationship and what it takes to be in a relationship. That they don't know nothing about complimenting somebody. They just on the go, 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 and their mind is on the go, 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 and they have to run and chase and race and do a bunch of other stuff that is outside of building a relationship, because they so new to a relationship that their focus can't be 100% on getting in a one-on-one relationship with somebody. Either you're displaying this to somebody or somebody's displaying this to you, that they're too new, they're too green. They're just too green at the experience, and they don't know the little knickknacks that take to be in a one-on-one relationship, like complimenting somebody, being fair, being balanced, even give and take. They're just rushing, 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 rushing. They're too new. They're too green. So that's that. If you already um um coupled up with somebody, they said this whole new thing that you're trying to craft out, it's so brand new to you, or so experimental when it comes to you building something positive in your relationship or your one-on-one, that it's never been tried in your relationship before. And that's what's kind of is you can't get a clear benefit out of it, because one, the action is too new. Number two, whatever is being brought on the table to help your relationship or help build your relationship better, it's it may not have ever been done before by either you as a couple or your friends that are couples, or it got this idea just came out of a random place, and you both decided to do it if you felt it was going to help the relationship be tighter. But it's so awkward and so new, and it's such a brand new concept of doing something like that to help build the relationship, that you can't get a physical win out of it because it's just too new. And maybe this is also saying is that whatever process you bring it in, maybe you decided to take a baby step towards it. You ain't seeing no full benefit because you didn't fully do what needed to be done to help make your relationship better. Or you kind of like putting your toe in the water on it, basically, because it's so new and so young and it ain't been done, and you hoping that will bring some new life to your relationship, but you ain't stuck your toe in it instead of putting your whole foot in it. So it is what it is. So, and that's either your companion's thinking this or you're thinking this, that okay, maybe we didn't go full entrench with it and to get the full benefit of it. So let's go ahead and see what the last card is. Well, whatever was brought up, okay, let's see. For singles, what it's saying is, because this person was new, they was really coming honest at you. They was really being sincere and honest and clean and putting it up there. They just didn't have the experience of being in a relationship or what it takes. Yeah, they forgot to. You got with them. They didn't. They forgot you met them for dinner, and they didn't say your dress look good or your shoes look good or your trousers look hot or whatever. And they was just new to it, but they was just being them. That's what it is. It was just them being them, and it's kind of green if you're trying to be in a one-on-one relationship or get into a one-on-one relationship. They came off too green, and that's just the way they is. Either you came off like this to somebody, or somebody came this off like this to you, that you got with them or met them, and they didn't pay you a compliment because that's their personality. They're too new at this. Maybe this is their first relationship. Maybe they're hoping to have a relationship that lasts longer than a couple of days, a couple of weeks, and they don't know about something that is ongoing, and they coming as honest as they can about being in a one-on-one relationship. But because they didn't have enough long time experience of being in a relationship, it kind of makes it like, okay, either you're a dummy or you're just too green to it. But they being honest. So either you're coming like this to somebody or somebody is coming like that to you. If you already coupled up, what it's saying is that y'all is putting your best foot forward, and you both is exerting being honest when it comes to bringing this new thing in your relationship that you're hoping that can be a benefit, that it can, that you're taking this wholeheartedly. You know, you're not trying to be deceptive about it, or your feelings when it comes to is it working or not working. You're gonna let it be known, but at the same time, you didn't get fully entrenched in it, so you have to take it as is. You know, you have to take it as is, but you have to take it from a standpoint that because you didn't put your full effort in when it came to trying to bring in this thing to be a benefit, that it showed small steps, and it was the effort that you wanted to put in at that time on that, and you probably brought that up to your companion, that I'm not going to just lie to you and tell you I'm going to do all this, that, and the other. Maybe I would carve some time out, or maybe we'll go out to dinner once in a while, or we would just the small things. And maybe your companion put that on the table before this idea was brought on the table to help build the relationship. That they was going to be honest and tell you they was going to take baby steps on introducing this into the relationship to make it better, and they was not going to invest until they could have seen something better. They wasn't going to go full fledged in it, but they was willing to invest a little time in it, and they put it on the table as honest as they can. So I hope you like this reading. Go ahead and hit subscribe. Go ahead and leave your comments at the bottom. You can thumb the video up or down, and I'll talk to you later.